Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Man, I know it got to be Friday today. 27th.
Man, yeah,
Feels
yeah,
like it.
it
27th
does.
of March. Man, we firing up a brand new, fresh episode. Come on in. Let's get it rolling. First Sky Omaha. In the morning. Money. Welcome to a Love Supreme Friday. It's going down. Oh, come on in. Just come on in. Come on. Come on in.
Come
It's gonna be
on.
a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Appreciate you guys joining us this early in the morning on this Friday,
Yeah,
the 27th of March. Fresh edition is going down right now, and we're feeling pretty good. Feeling like a
yeah,
couple of artists
mm,
doing artist things. So,
man,
yeah, man, you got to get back to it. What are we fighting for but to do
man.
our art and live our life? You know what I mean?
Word,
Nothing more
word,
important living live with each other and creating with each other and all that good stuff. I'm feeling
man.
high on that right now from my own personal situations of doing music with the family, man. That's what it's all about for me in a big, big way.
Hey, likewise, man. So yeah, feeling high on the Love Supreme today. It is Love Supreme Friday, so come on in. Hopefully you're feeling the same. Let us know what's going on in your worlds out
Hmm.
there. So yeah, man. I don't know. Should I ask how you doing, Paul? What's good?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Good.
I'm doing good, doing great. How are you? I'm definitely
Hey.
definitely feeling the man. There's nothing like the getting the creative juices going, man, and doing what you do, like being you, doing what you do. That's what it's all about. Man.
Man.
So, you forget, you get caught up in the grind and forget. So yeah, it's good, man. I'll tell the story a little later on in the show about
Okay.
my my expeditions here in art. But before we get to that, I just want to jump in and ask everybody: are you still here? Did you get blown away by the 60-mile-an-hour winds yesterday?
Mm.
Yeah, kind of crazy, kind of crazy how the wind has been shaking every building in Omaha around this time. Weather's weird, but it's kind of in the middle of you got to wear a
Mm.
jacket. Same thing. You got to have a jacket. Put on your three-piece suit, your jacket, your raincoat,
You
snow
know what?
boots.
I should have known once the Trump sign came down, with the wind took the Trump sign down. It was like, okay, yeah, something's afoot. Something's afoot.
There you go. RG gives us good morning, y'all. Good morning to you. Michelle Moreno says, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Appreciate that. Sean
Hey,
McCarthy says, good morning. First Sky team and chimers. How's the job
fantastic.
search going, bro? Do you ever take
Yeah.
days off from the job search? Are you a weekend
Mm.
warrior with the job search?
Hmm.
Pops gives us a good Friday morning and mad love from Las Vegas. Hey, Pops.
Hey.
Staying in today. That's what's up. Also, RG said, wind just hollering out there, rattling screen windows for real, man.
Mm.
Still going down out there for real if you're in Omaha. Marla Harrison says, good morning, First Sky family, and happy TGIF, everyone. Right on.
Squad.
Squad. Leia Keister in the chat with the Friday Yippee Skippies. Your turn, bud.
Is it my turn?
Your
Yeah.
turn.
Happy Friday, yip yo, yay, yippee, yo, yip. Oh, yippee, yo, yay.
All right.
Yeah, the thing moved on me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It moved for a good reason. Congratulations to
What?
brother Sean McCarthy. Yeah, hey.
Right on, brother.
Bravo.
Sean
Persistence. You look in the
McCarthy.
dictionary, look up the word persistence, you see Sean McCarthy.
Said, I am no longer unemployed. I start my new job on April 6th. Right on, brother.
Hey,
We need to have a party.
185 applications later.
Wow. 20 to 25 job interviews, man. Whew. You better than me, brother. I'd have started after 3. I'd have started a whole new business.
Man, let me just hire myself.
Ariel Sparks
Hey, man.
says, hit the like button. I don't know about you.
Hey.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Tell them to hit that like button, make it
Yeah.
hot. Yeah. Mark Manner in the chat said, whoa, Sean got a job. Congrats. I'm telling you, bro, we need to
Yeah,
have a
man.
party.
Man, okay.
We need to have a party on Sean. First check.
Hey.
That's how we do it. Black community. You gotta throw your own party for yourself around here. Hey, we gonna throw a party for you.
Dang.
Go run by the store.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
RG says, and here I was about to drop a job lead for you. That's what's up. Congrats, Sean.
Okay. Hey, still folks out there looking, man. If you got a job connection, let us know.
That's
Drop
right.
it in. Drop
Y'all
it in.
remember you remember we got that jobby job? I say jobby job. They always laugh at me for saying jobby job, and I'll be like, that's Robin Harris, right?
Man, come on. Come on.
You listen to
Man.
Snoop Doggy Dogg, you need to get a jobby job. Yeah, definitely put the jobby job in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We're always looking for that resource. Matter of fact, we're going to tune our resource page in order to have some of that stuff on there too. So
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
everybody who pulls those, let us know. But yeah, congratulations, Sean. Appreciate that, man. He says thank you, everyone, for your support, check-ins, job leads, and everything. Paul, Buddy, and everyone in this group. Right on, bro.
Okay. Okay. Folks was behind the scenes. Is that what I'm hearing?
Chad Chan was trying to take care of each other. I appreciate that, man.
That's
That's
what
what's
it's
up.
about. That's what
Yeah,
it's about.
a lot of congratulations. Welcome. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate that news. I'm starting off with some good news on this Friday, which feels good.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
definitely feels good. Appreciate that. And we'll definitely jump into a few of the community updates. So before we get to that, though, buddy, how you feeling this morning? Seems like you got a little couple winks, huh?
Yeah, I got a couple wings, man. Got a little extra giddy up in my step. Feeling good, feeling great this morning. But of course, it comes at a cost, y'all. Comes at a cost.
Let them know.
Atlanta's a city that never sleeps, man. So while I was, resting,
While you were
preparing,
sleeping.
charging up, while I was sleeping, I missed the whole Kanye listening party, y'all. Man, Kanye's new album, Bully, apparently is finished.
I gotta get some sound effects over here.
Man, apparently the new Kanye album Bully is finished. What I'm hearing is Ye might be back to his old form. I'm hearing good things about it.
Oh.
The homies texted me. I'm asleep, man.
Are
So
we
yeah,
listening? Are we listening to him after the Hitler thing? though? I mean,
is that? I mean, I
did he
don't know, man.
apologize?
I don't know. But
We
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
we separate the art from the artist around here. I think a little bit. If the music's right, it can be inspirational. All right. See what's happening.
I
But
feel
anyway, yeah, the
yeah,
moral of
yeah,
the story is you slept and missed a very exclusive situation.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, still, if you got a chance to go to a Kanye listening party, I mean,
You might want to do that.
you might want
Uh,
to check it out.
but I gotta say, I'm happy that you missed it because you got some sleep.
Yeah.
'Cause
There is that. There is that. And yeah, looking forward to today's conversation. Actually, we might have a star in our own right on the show
bro,
today. Yeah. Looking forward to today's guest. Actually, Sister Trevesia Marion. You might know her. You might not. Get to know her today. She'll be joining us a little later on the Love Supreme tip. Man, again, high on the Love Supreme energy, man. So
big time.
yeah. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining us. About 8:08. Speaking of Kanye, 808s, heartbreaks. Anyway,
Hey,
hey. But that's again Atlanta time. Definitely let us know where you are when you're tuning in. I appreciate you for tuning in. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. Let's get this thing rolling, man. What's going on in the community, Paul?
yeah, we definitely got a few. We'll dive into it. There are a couple good things that are coming up. Of course, we're talking about this. Everybody's talking
Man,
about Smokey Robinson coming to town for Memorial Park. This is in June, but I just this is so indicative of Nebraska to me that
mm,
Smokey Robinson is headlining. Cake is going featuring special guest Cake.
gotta mix it
The,
up.
the genres,
Gotta mix it up.
the girth between the genres is huge on this one. You got to mix it up. But I will say there's some people out here that do like Cake and do like Smokey Robinson. So maybe there's some genius in the lineup.
Hey,
I don't know. I do know that it sounds like something for everybody out here is what they tried to do here for this Memorial Park situation. But this is they were talking about it. Somebody was asking, "Are you going to that Memorial Park concert?" And then somebody was like, "Well, who's gonna be there?" We didn't know. They finally announced Smokey's gonna be there, so that's what's up.
who all gonna be there?
Who all gonna be there
Ooh,
is this is one of them you don't even ask because everybody gonna be there apparently
man, hey,
from
cruising the
all
Cape.
walks from all walks. So there you go on that. So we appreciate learning about what's happening there. I didn't really get a whole lot more haps because
Okay,
there's so much other news going on right now. I definitely want
it
to give
is.
a shout out to the fellas doing Beyond the Stigma. This is coming on the 28th. This is actually tomorrow from 3 to 5. So if you're part of this group or if you're first time want to go check it out, please do.
Man,
This is a group that Johnny No Good put together, basically of men being able to come and talk about their feelings and talk about what's bothering them, and take care of each other mentally, mental health taken care of with each other, and
Yeah.
it's been a very successful meeting that they have every month. Tomorrow's is going to be at Assembly of the Saints, 4224 North 24th Street, and free light refreshments and food provided. Definitely check it out, man. It's men of all walks, all ages. They'd like to get together and talk and support each other. So that's what's up. Appreciate Beyond the Stigma, Johnny No Good doing the thing. What you over here laughing at?
I'm laughing at Marlon in the chat. I'm sorry. I'm doing what we tell the guests not to do. I'm looking at the chat.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Marlon said, "Who is Cake? Who is Cake? What?"
Why is Cake tight face bigger than Smokey's name? Smokey bigger on the fly. Come on, y'all. They want the name and Smokey to be bigger on the fly.
Hey, all right.
That's what's up. Also, bro, I gotta talk about Noma Fest because
Speaking of concerts, I'm hearing good things.
Look here, bro. Let me listen. Omaha, let me tell you right now. If you don't know, go know because listen.
It's a situation.
I'm just gonna put it to you like this. First of all, Barcade is gonna be on the Deuce. Mono Neon gonna be on the Deuce.
The Deuce.
My biggest musical crush in the world right now is Mohini Day. She gonna be on the Deuce. You talking about? First of all, just Mono Neon and Mohini Day in the same space is that's just too much bass for your face. You're not even gonna believe. Your mind gonna be blown. Your brain, your face gonna melt from just them two artists alone. Then we got Keon Harold coming.
Don't sleep on Keon.
Frank Nicole coming. And then the man, Richie Love back on the block coming through. Noma Fest 5 is going to be ridiculous. I'm going to have to get the tickets way early. This is happening August 13th through the 16th. I'm telling you right now, if you was going to go out of town in August, stay in town because you got to hit
this. It's going down. It's going down. Mark Manor said they should have Afro Man do lemon pound cake.
We have not talked about Afro Man quite yet, and we really do need to do that.
Hey, not enough. Definitely not enough.
Matter of fact, there is some stuff coming up with that story too, because he won the case, but the judge acted a fool.
Yeah,
It's tied to some other stuff that the judge did. I'm working on tying these things together. We'll talk about it, but yeah, for sure. Mark Manor's talking. Let's see. Oh, you guys are talking. You guys are talking about a lot in there. Terrence, you like Cake? Okay, that's what's up. All right, yeah, Cake is dope. I like Cake.
Yeah. Mayor Sanchez says he likes both as well. He's along with you in two ends of the spectrum.
There you go. I like to hear that. Arrows 402, I like both. There you go. What else we got? He said, Mark Manor says kids buy Kanye albums like crazy still.
I'm saying
he works at the record store, so he knows exactly what's happening with that.
The record store.
What was that? Oh, Pop's talking about tight face bigger.
Yep.
Pops, Smokey is the biggest thing on this flyer. He wants smoke, and it's got too many letters. Look, I'm a graphic designer. I already know you can't make the letters as big as Cake with 4. So
gotta get the kern right.
Yeah, I think you'd be surprised. Those of you who don't know who Cake is, they got a little funk to them, bro. I'll be honest. Cake kind of gets down a little bit. Cake gets down. I like Cake. I like all kinds of different kinds of music anyway, so I like Cake. But they also get down. It's also I think the black community that comes out to see Smokey gonna be a little bit okay. White boys ain't too bad. It's gonna be they get down, and they're 90s music. First of all, if we talk about anything from the 90s, which I'm starting to feel like is one of the greatest eras of music of all time. They're from that camp. We was like a whole bunch of alternative stuff in the 90s for real. So that's what's up. There you go. Cornfed said old alternative rock group. Yeah, and I wouldn't even call them. Would you call them rock? They kind of
rock.
It's to me it's like a pop group. It was always a weird lineup. They always had like a trumpet with some guitars and basses, and you know what I'm saying? Like they were a little different. They weren't. I don't know if I would call them alternative rock. We'll do the research. We'll come back and talk about it for sure. Mark Banner says they can Scott Baio play the Memorial Park show, and people will show up because it's free and they're fireworks. Scott Baio can play it. Anybody can come play that. That's what's up. He says Cake is a '90s alt rock band. Are you calling them alt rock too? Okay, they
Yeah,
sold,
yeah.
sold a lot of records and still do. They should have Afro Man do a lemon pound cake for real. Randy Watson is my favorite Afro Man song, by the way. Pop says Bohemian's cold blooded. Pops, biggest musical crush I got right now. Mohini Day gets down for real, for real. Mark Manner says their biggest hit is Gloria Gaynor cover. Yeah, they did. I Will Survive. That's what I'm saying. They
Hmm.
call them alt rock. I don't know. No, guess that's their title. I guess that's their category, but they're different. Definitely different. RG says end of the '90s, you couldn't escape Cake for real. Pop says yes, the '70s and the '90s were the golden age to me. Okay,
Here you go.
there's the music historian saying that, backing me
I
up.
had to. I,
Appreciate that,
no
pops. Yeah.
pushback. No pushback.
No pushback, bro.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta make a little bit of a play for the '80s though, just because that's my era, and there's also a lot of innovation that happened at that point as well. That
Yeah, yeah.
gold,
I mean,
we talk about golden ages of hip hop, and before '99 and '98, '99, '88 and '89 was like the golden age of hip hop. So it slid in there too. But I think the greatest eras of all time, I agree, '70s and '90s probably was the greatest for where I'm from my vantage point. What say you, chat?
no pushback from me.
Let us know. We're getting loose on this Love Supreme Friday. We appreciate that. We do have a special guest. If you're just joining us, we have a special guest coming in today. This is a guest that you may not know. Trevesia Marion is coming through, and she's an artist. We're going to be talking a little bit about some of the stuff that she does as well, and then have a conversation about her latest endeavor with the book that she's writing. And so definitely stay tuned for that. This is some serious Love Supreme stuff, and a kind of connection to Omaha and out in the world doing things. This is right up her
Yeah,
alley. This is
yeah,
right up her
yeah,
alley.
yeah. Definitely one of us, if you will.
One of us. In the meantime, between time 7:17 right now, if you believe in the concept of time, do us a favor, share the show. If you're on Facebook, share the show. We'll get as many people in the conversation as we can. If you're on YouTube, share the link. And tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. It's going down the Friday edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Happening right now. Buddy, what's today's thread? What are we going to be talking about?
Yeah, man, we're kind of gonna be everywhere a little bit. It's a lot of things going on actually on many levels. Looking at what's happening in our own backyard, locally around the Omaha area, also on the state level, there's some movement going on. Have to touch on some budget things, but even getting international with it. I don't know if you heard about the UN designation, to which the United States had a very interesting stance, but we got to talk about that, man. History was made. Yeah, Paul. Yeah. But history was made. We got to talk about it. If you didn't hear about it again, something very, very historic went down in the United Nations. So, yeah, getting into a lot of things, of course, starting with the Deuce. There's some controversy. Of course, we've been kind of hearing things about it. Shout out to Bill King and 95.7 The Boss, having the brothers from Jackson's Fair Deal on their platform. And of course, we've been reaching out and looking to speak to the people from OEDC to get a full view of the picture. But of course, Channel 3 is reporting on the latest in this Jackson Fair Deal OEDC situation. So we'll kind of give you an update on that. Not going to dive into it too much because, again, there's a lot to talk about. But we do want to talk about something that we were kind of getting into on Wednesday. Continue our conversation. Shout out to Sister Kimmer Snipes, again, ED of One Omaha, talking about, again, her upcoming needs assessment for communities. And we're posing the question, again, what does the community need, especially looking at the Deuce, which we are definitely invested into revitalizing, investing into seeing it come back to its full glory. And there might be something coming back that can help with that. So definitely want to talk about this idea, this plan that's being rolled out, a possible grocery store coming to the Deuce. We'd love to hear what you have to say about that. Also jumping to the state level, again, talking about the budget, the third iteration of the state's budget. Again, the state of Nebraska going broke, trying to find out where can we make some money, where can we save some money, how can we make sure people have what they need. We'll definitely dive into that, and then again also dive into some literacy things coming out of the state. Again, there's some legislation around literacy and whether or not you can read at the third grade level. Yeah, let's talk about that, and definitely in preparation for our guest who's also dealing with the children. And then in the second hour, we'll kind of open up, get into a little wildfire stuff, some things going on with the UN, a lot of things to talk about. As always, if there's anything we're missing, though, Feel free to drop that into the chat. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. In the meantime, between time, Paul
Yo,
B.
yo.
What's the word? What's the word? A
Man,
little loose today.
very loose today, but appreciate you everybody hanging with us today. Soak it up. This is Love Supreme Friday. Think about your art. Think about the things you love doing. Think about the things that make you you. All the stuff that we have to fight for. All the stuff that we are battling out here in order for us to live our life. What is your life? What does your life mean? What does that entail? What do you do? If somebody's following you around with a camera, what would they see that the things that you do on a regular basis that make you you? So I say, let's think about it. And what do you love? It's that, we got this campaign that we might be starting here where we're talking about how everybody's an artist. Even if you work at a bank, you probably, picked up a guitar when you were 14 and tried to play in a band at one time. You may have abandoned it to do what you do, but it's still inside you. So everybody has their art. Everybody used to draw in junior high. Everybody used to, what I'm saying? Everybody used to do something that made you feel like you were interested in art. And to this day, maybe you go check out that kind of art. What is that? What is that for you? I want everybody to really kind of think about it and think about how, if I were to interview everybody listening, what would you say your art was? Let us know. Let us know. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back and jump into the conversation in anticipation of our guests as well. Thanks for joining us. This is First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God.
Hey.
We'll be right back, y'all. Stay tuned. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B. Buddy to God.
Hey.
Who are you? How are you? Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody that's joining in to the chat. Mark Manor says he backs me up on that 80s, Paul. Yeah, man. There's some, I got a slide 80s in there, man. 70s through the 90s. How about we say that? Sean McCarthy says a lot of underground stuff on the 80s influenced a ton of great stuff that happened in the 1990s for rock, hip hop, R&B. Very true, very true. Everybody's jumping on the 80s. 80s music is really good too, Marlon Harrison says. That's what's up. Brother RG says, I remember being on the UNL campus back in 1996 as a freshman, and almost every white student around hollering, he's going the distance. He's going for speed. That was the jam, man. Cake used to get down. I'm glad to see him. Glad to see him back. Michelle Moreno says, oh, yeah, I remember that Cake song, The Distance. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Arrows 402 says, B-boy is my art.
Okay.
Can't have a B-boy without the 80s. That's what's up.
Come on, man. Pop
says, my art in junior high school was drawing and painting. And in high school, it was mechanical drafting and music. Boy, I still had that. I wonder if I still got them somewhere in one of these storage units. Pop's, I used to check out Pop's mechanical drawings. Matter of fact, the first time I ever seen anybody draw Iron Man back in the 80s, early 80s, that was Pop's drawings. Had me on that stuff. Yeah, man, that's what's up. And this is from a person that is a musician and used to sing with the Platters. And so it's interesting that you didn't mention your musicianship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what's up. So. Yeah, I come from a multi-talented, I come from a family full of Renaissance men. That's what we call it.
There you go.
Do it all. So that's what's up. Let us know what your art is. Love to hear about it. Even if you've abandoned it, if it's still in you, something that you're interested in, let us know. At one point, we could have all called ourselves an artist for whatever reason or another. So let us know what yours was. Love to hear about it. And if you don't catch this in time while we're live, put it in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We don't always got to talk about politics and everything over there. We can talk about everything over there. So
word
page gets down. In the meantime, between time, buddy, let's go ahead and jump into the conversation. What you got for us?
Yeah, yeah. Of course, we're keeping it loose on this Friday, but there are still some things to talk about, some things to let you know about, some updates, some a pulse we try to keep our finger on. And I definitely appreciate those of you sharing these things and friends of First Sky Omaha. Actually, kind of taking a cue from Marlon Harrison. Speaking of sharing things and friends of, big shout out to you for dropping this kind of just sparking conversation. That's the whole idea. That's the whole point. And he made a post about real estate and the culture around real estate in our community, and just the idea of having investment, having ownership of the community, and not moving from place to place, and what that looks like and what that may mean. And of course, we've been talking about home ownership a lot throughout the season, actually. But definitely want to look at other areas. It's not just about the homes, but what amenities are there? What do you have to access when you buy a home in the area? And of course, we've been focusing on the deuce and asking about what is their needs in these communities. And Paul, actually, you have some interesting thoughts about the concept of a food desert that I want to kind of expand upon a little bit more and invite the chat chimers into as far as just how the Deuce in North Omaha is being framed as a food desert, and some of the conversations happening about around the restaurants and things going on the Deuce, starting with, of course, Jackson's Fair Deal, which has been kind of a staple in the 24th area. They've been holding it down on the Deuce in the Fair Deal Village, a good food option in the area. But of course, there's been some controversy as of late, as again, Channel 3 is reporting, and we've been hearing whispers, but now, of course, it's hitting the headlines as a judge is ruling this week that there is an ongoing eviction case between, again, the owners of Jackson's Fairdale Cafe and OEDC. Of course, the attempted eviction stems from, according to the article, a lengthy legal dispute between the landlord and the cafe. The case centers on allegations over property upkeep, utility payments, and other concerns. Of course, as I mentioned, the owners of Brother Jackson has been very vocal and present on Brother Bill King's website about, or not website, but platform, again, on 95.7 The Boss, giving his side of the story and been, just kind of talking about it. But of course, we have yet to hear much from OEDC on the other side. We've been reaching out. I know, Paul, you actually had a conversation with Brother Maroney outside in the streets. And there's been some attempts to reach out, but of course, we still haven't heard much. Definitely still working on that side. But yeah, I don't know if you have any input on that.
Yeah, most definitely. We're definitely working on trying to speak with somebody at OEDC. Like our buddy said, I just spoke to Mr. Maroney, who hesitated. He's not really kind of dude wants to come on the show and talk about stuff like that in the first place. But he's considering. He's thinking about what needs to be said. At the time, I really didn't know there was a lawsuit pending, though. So there's not, to be fair, there's not a whole lot anybody can say
Right.
really at this point in time with this lawsuit pending. The new news that there is that it's going to be a jury trial coming up. So that's part of it. But it really reinforced what it is that I want to make sure that the message that we get across here. As First Guy Omaha, I kind of put a post out. I don't know if you guys saw it, but the post had to do with me explaining that anytime that we are dealing with anything, especially if it's any kind of conflict within our community, our whole purpose is to try to bring community together. Is try to help resolve problems if there's any way that we can.
Hmm.
And so even though there's always going to be some kind of conflict, and what we're going to try to do is figure out what use our platform for however it is that we can help bring people together. So we will never bring anybody on, and it'll be a hot seat type of situation. We're always trying to bring people on, let them speak their piece, gather information, and be able to tell the story the way we want to hear it told. If we don't do it, then mainstream news going to come in and do it, and mainstream news doesn't really have the access, and so it'll be a certain way that things get told and reported. And
Hmm.
so I use the opportunity to remind everybody, like, use First Sky Omaha, use us as a platform where we can get the story down. Then we create these receipts, and then when the mainstream news comes in and reports on it, you can match that up to what you heard from the horse's mouth type of deal. That's kind of why we provide the space that we have. So people have reached out to me saying that I should reach out to the brother over there at Jackson's, and I will if at some point. Like I said, if you follow us, you probably follow Bill King. Bill King's over there at 95.7 The Boss. They've been on several times having conversations about what's going on. That's why I reached out to OEDC to see if they would like to come in and say some things as well. And I'm sure that eventually it will. But right now, everything's going to be said. It's probably going to be said in court, and that's just what
Yeah.
it is. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good reminder for us that when we have internal conflict here, let's act with some integrity. Let's ask the people, hey, let me hear from you. Let's come speak on this. There has been some attacks that has happened
Man, it got a little personal. A little personal.
It got personal. But to the brothers' credit, they came back and apologized for that. And moved on along from it, and decided that they're still going to do what they're going to do. There's still the issue in the conflict. Nothing has changed just because that happened. But we believe over here that if keeping that kind of stuff at a minimum, where we don't lash out at each other, means that we can have some further conversation and get to some togetherness here after the conflict gets taken care of. Hopefully, if that can be possible. So we'll keep on pushing on it. Behind the scenes, we've been working on this for months, as a matter of fact. But maybe even longer than that, because there's been other issues with landlordship in some of the places that OEDC is behind, and we needed to address a few things. But again, we're trying to approach it a little bit more cautiously than just here's the news. This is what one person said this, the other person declined to comment, and that's all you get. Which is what's happening right now with Channel 3. And also, I'll come back and talk about this later on in the second hour, but we got to talk about Channel 3, the neighborhood reporting situation now, too, on top of that. So
I addressed it, but yeah, we can definitely.
We will.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's take a break right here, because I actually want to put a pin in this, come back to it, and talk about this a little bit later on, and put a pin in all the rest of our stories right now, because we have our special guest waiting in the wings, and I did forget that she has an engagement coming up, so she needed to come in a little bit early. So we're going to go ahead and bring her in. So right after the break here, we'll bring our special guest in. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the God. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with a special guest. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
Good morning.
In the morning. Sorry.
Whoa, bro.
Yeah, I was super late. I'm sorry.
My name is, you messed up my whole intro. My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the God, and we have Trevesia Marion in the chat. Am I saying Trevesia right?
Trevesia.
Got you. Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm really good. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. Yeah.
Well,
good morning.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning to you too. I like y'all intro. It sounds like it's a little rusty, buddy. You got to get your part together. But
yeah. Honestly, I was trying to get these. I'm trying to get some stuff ready for you, actually. So I'm sorry. My bad.
And also, we usually take a little bit longer break, but I know you had to go, so I brought the break in a little early. So that
I appreciate my bad too. Thank you.
But I will
be flexible.
Yeah, no problem, of course. It's live. We gotta roll with the punches when it's live. So do us a favor. Let our listeners know who you are. Introduce yourself. Let us know what you do. Appreciate that.
Of course. I'm Trevesia Marion. I'm a native of Omaha, Nebraska. I now live in Houston, Texas. I'm a Black History children's book author, a speaker. I'm now a rapper. I'm also a clothing designer. So my brand is Young Black Visionaries, and we have now made the Visionary Tales. We are bridging the gap between reading and learning, and so now we are rapping.
Yes. Man, so I actually kind of checked out your social media, and I love what I saw. You're definitely, as I say, one of us. A lot of things that we talk about, you kind of done. From using your art to give back to the community, definitely doing it for the younger generation. Even traveling, things like that. Actually, if you don't mind, can we play this clip real quick?
Play a quick clip.
Let the people see what's going on. Yeah, I was trying to line this up. My bad. I missed my cue. But yeah, check this out.
25 to become a rapper. Not just any rapper. I'm rapping about this Black history for these children. It's a literacy crisis, and I want to help fix it. Now, is it easy? Started from the bottom, but I graduated quickly. I learned, I grew, I went to shows on shows on shows. Concert after concert really expanded my creativity and opening my mind. I follow every vision I was given. I mean, I had an event this year. My heart is still full. I could still drop a December tear over July's event. I traveled place after place. I went a little bit of here, a little bit of there, a little bit of everywhere, working to give y'all just what y'all needed. I wanted these kids to get something
amazing, per usual.
And what was the result? I took the leap. I jumped off that porch and I did it. This is only the beginning. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still reading. I'm still writing.
We just still.
And now that we're here, ain't no stopping. I'm going to use this here mic to turn these kids up. We're going to get this history one way or another. 2025 did its biggest one. The visionary.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah. So I mean, I came across that video and it's just so many questions. I'm loving the platform. Just wondering, like, so I guess to give you a little background, we're artists as well. I'm actually living here in Atlanta. I'm a DJ, producer in the music industry. My man Paul's a longtime musician. Family is, in the arts, as you see. You kind of see a big shout out to Pops in the chat right now. So I'm just kind of curious, what drove you to this point as far as education, art, the love supreme, as we like to call it? What inspired this?
Yeah. So I'm a lover of all things Black history. I love to read. I love to write. But I've always known that that's not something that everyone loves. Even when it's just an adult, it's hard to find book clubs or people who just are interested in getting the information by reading. We're quick people. We just are. We like something fast, something catchy. We all like music. I love music. So I just kind of got to the point where I'm like, instead of me having to read this book to people, what can I do to bring everyone in the household to the information? Because my first thought was, okay, let me just write several books of one form of information. So in this book, Someone Black Invented That, let me write it for small kids, let me write it for middle age, and then let me write it for older kids. Then I started thinking about it. I'm like, if the parents don't read to them now, what are we doing? How do I get them interested? I want them to say, Mom, this is my favorite book. Or I want to read about this. I want to learn about this. Mom, I know this. And my thing was just, it kind of came to me. I prayed about it and it was music. And I love music, but that don't mean I do music. So I was very nervous about it. It's been a super long journey for me to actually learn. Just because you like something, just because you do something doesn't mean that you can go do it. And I had to learn that the hard way. So it's been a long time coming. It's been a lot of learning. It's been a huge learning curve, but it's so fun. I just kind of decided this was it to get us there.
Man, that's huge though. A lot of people just, are daunted by learning something new. But you see from the video, you actually really invested. You traveled, went to concerts, like you said. Like I'm in the music industry. There's people who claim to be artists that don't do that. You know what I mean? Like they're not doing that. And I see a lot of artists. So, just to say that initiative and that investment, and it's all for a good cause. So I am kind of curious, were you coming from an education background? Are you a teacher? Like how, or just a lover of history?
Just a lover of history. I am a lover of children. I do love to teach. But I feel that I'm better in spaces where I can move around. I can travel. I can spread myself a little bit more. We can learn more than if I was like in a classroom. I've never felt that was my exact calling. But if you'll ever see me in that space, I come alive. It's easy for me. Teachers are always impressed. Daycare professionals are always like, do you do this? How do you? It's just easy it comes easy, but it doesn't mean that it's something I should stay and do. I've kind of known, okay, it's my calling, but in this way. So I really just prayed for the journey of creativity in finding how to use my calling.
That's beautiful.
Like Buddy said, we're a couple of artists that decided that we had to start talking about some of this really important stuff going on in our world, which is the reason why we use this platform. So the fact that you are decided, let's use different media to try to gain people's attention is kind of something that's right along with what we believe as well. So appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all for it. Thank you.
Oh yeah. This is dope. I was definitely excited to having this conversation, and there's some things I got to talk to you behind the scenes, but yeah, we're gonna talk. Yeah. But I am kind of curious about the Young Black Visionaries platform. I see the shirt in the video. You talked about you had an event. We saw some of the fam. Senator Terrell McKinney, my man Light Pole was out there. So can you kind of speak about that event? What is the Young Black Visionary platform? What you doing with that?
Of course, of course. So Young Black Visionaries has always been, it's been around for almost like 10 years. So it's 2017 when I really got started. Just like with the Visionary Tales, it was a lot of behind the scenes. So I started more like around 2016 and finally got off the ground 2017. So it was actually very similar. I wanted a platform for us to just be able to speak Black empowerment, wear clothing that shows Black empowerment. I always knew that I was going to have a bigger cause, so I wanted an umbrella. So I said I would just create Young Black Visionaries, and as it comes, I'll figure it out. I said I want something I can throw anything into. I don't know what it's going to be yet at this point. You know, this is 2016. 10 years ago, I didn't know. So I just said, okay, let me create the platform and the ideas will come. So I started making shirts. Born Black, Been Proud. That one sold all around the city. Black Kinging, Black Queening, just shirts and stuff for Black empowerment. And that got me into spaces. That made it to where people were interested in why I wanted to make the clothing, what I wanted to do, what my mission was. And I'm literally just trying to empower. So that was 2016. 2021 is when I finally came out with my book. So again, everything takes a little second. I got to writing, had to perfect that. I'm self-published. I had to go to my 6th grade teacher for editing and help. I was like, do you still, Mr. Ryan, you still like me? Can you help me? And he did. And so I put out the book then, and I just kind of said, let's keep going and find where our platform can take us. What can I do? How can I help in the community? So I started having events as well. I just really want to spread the word and create community. So I decided events, of course, is the best way to do so. Bring people to you, start to teach them what you're doing, what your message is, what your mission is, and kind of create more community and also give back. I don't want to just be taken. I really want to give. So the event that you looked at was Native Omaha Day last year, and that was a backpack drive. So I do like block and buys or brunch and buys, which is where I bring the community together to vend. I let them vend. This one I had a concert. The first one I had was a brunch. So everybody got to enjoy brunch. We just kind of talked community and all that, gave out prizes and such, had brunch. And at this one, it was a backpack drive. So we had vendors, we had a bounce house, we had a DJ, we had face painting, we had skateboarding. Oh my gosh, it was kids everywhere. We had a car show. It was great. It was great. We had food, free food for the kids, and then of course the backpacks full of school supplies for the school. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. So just to give back, just to create more community, just to put my stamp wherever I can.
And I got a question about that, putting your stamp wherever you can, because you mentioned that you travel around a lot, and that you and that's your bag, is to be able to like hit different spots. That's the way you teach. So when you talk about building community, how is that working with you moving around so much? Are you building community in the different spots you go, and then networking them all together to make a huge community? Is that kind of your strategy?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the plan. So I do have home bases. So I am in Omaha today. I've been here for about 7 hours. I just got here.
Okay.
So this is home. I'm back home. I don't live here, but I'm home for the weekend.
Oh, okay.
And I'll come home. That's easy to build community. I've had this community since I was literally born. So I stay in it just to keep the community. I live in Houston, Texas, so I work just as hard to keep community
Hey.
there. And a
Okay.
lot of Omaha has moved around. So I
Mhm.
feel it's super beneficial to use my friends in Atlanta, Georgia, to use my everywhere. You know, I got friends in Dallas, everywhere I have people. I have friends in California, family in California. Everywhere I have people, I can spread this. It's very easy when you're giving to use a little weekend, a little couple hours, whatever you have to build more community. And what that helps with is when someone does ring my phone and say, hey, Trevesia, do you know someone who does? I can say, I might. You know, okay, I'm not sure, but I'll talk to Brianna. Brianna might know, and Brianna will connect me to this, and we're just continuously building community and helping each other with different things. You know how hard it is to find people. So as you start to build, that's how the community comes in. I've given something, I've helped them, and they're like, "Ooh, I know who can do it. I trust her. I like her. Let's ask her." And I can ask other people I like and I trust, and we build that way.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
And you
it's all
can do
about
that
connection.
around this banner of Young Black Visionaries. That's how you kind of make sure that everybody is it knows what family they are belonging to, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And with that, it's just with using Young Black Visionaries, with making my mark, integrity comes into play. You just have to make sure I keep everything real. I keep my integrity going. I make sure everything fits under the umbrella that makes sense, so that, like I said, when people are thinking of Young Black Visionaries, when they think of my name, they can trust it. They can trust their kids with it. They know this is good. This is good stuff.
That's what's up.
Man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So you got a lot going on. Of course, the YouTube page, the Visionary Tales. You have the book. What else? Any future plans? I know you kind of sounds like you're walking by faith, not by sight right now. But definitely any plans that you can let the people know about.
Of course. It's going to be more of this. It's going to be more of this. I'm spending lots of time in the studio.
Okay.
So we're just going to keep doing this. It'll be more books. So what I'll do is I'll have a book and then I'll have a song to the book, or opposite. I'll have a song and then I have a book to the song, So it's going to be more learning. We have so much Black history to learn about. I don't want to do what's just popular. I want to learn about everything, because if you like inventors, that's fine. But if you want to become a doctor, I want you to see that there's someone who represents that as well. So it's going to be all Black history. We got a lot of history to go through. So I don't know. It's probably going to take a while. So we'll be doing this for a while.
Okay. That's dope. Where can the people find the books, the content? I know you have YouTube. Is there a website? What else you have going on?
Of course. YoungBlackVisionaries.com. Okay. So everything is Young Black Visionaries. You can find it YoungBlackVisionaries.com. The YouTube is The Visionary Tales 321. So we're called The Visionary Tales 321 on YouTube. We'll have more videos there soon, more songs there soon. The song Someone Black Invented That is out everywhere. The book Someone Black Invented That is on the website as well as on Amazon. So we're everywhere. We're everywhere. But yeah, you can find everything you need on YoungBlackVisionaries.com or The Visionary Tales 321.
That's what's up. Love it.
There you go, man. Well, I that's all I have. I mean, that's pretty much straight to the point. Definitely wanted to let the people see the work a little bit though. So again, if anybody doesn't have any questions, or if you do, feel free to drop them into the chat. I know you had some engagement you had to get to, but definitely wanted to let the people see the work a little bit. So
of course, please do. I've got time for that.
Yeah, check this out.
I know someone black invented that. I know someone black invented that. I know someone black invented that. Eeny, meeny, Pasadena. How many inventions? I see plenty, yeah. I know someone black invented that. I know someone black invented that. Summertime, super soaker girl. Lonnie Johnson did that. Winter's cold, turn the furnace on. Alice Parker did that. We going up, elevator doors. Mr. Miles did that. Yes, it's someone black invented that. Orange from Cali, I'm in Idaho. Frederick Jones did that. Stop like we jigging, this my song. Gary Morgan did that. Call button while the flight is Miriam, no, she did that. Yes, it's someone black invented that. Eeny, meeny, Pasadena. How many inventions? I see plenty, yeah. I know someone black invented that. I know someone black invented that. Eeny, meeny, Pasadena. How many inventions? I see plenty, yeah. I know someone black.
Okay.
I start going hard on the verse, so that's the best part.
Yeah. Make sure they check that out. Make sure you check that out. I like that.
That was the teaser right there.
Yeah. Man, that's
dope.
You.
I appreciate you for playing it. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Man, again, wanted some people to see the work quality. Like the song was quality, the video is quality, and of course the education is most important. Letting the young folk know what's going on, man. So get some love in the chat. Pop say I love this, very cool. RG saying her reminds me of someone, Miss Red. Okay, get some love.
Thank you.
Yeah. Again, just keep going. Let us know if you have any events definitely this summer or any events coming up. And again, I'm in Atlanta, so I definitely want to connect you to some people I know actually.
Okay, all right. I'll be there. So you let me know. I'll let you know, and I can't wait to see y'all again soon.
Yeah, sure. Appreciate you. We'll check in with you another time and keep up the good work, man. It's nothing about we call it art soldiering. We ain't gonna battle nothing in our society right now without the art soldiers. So
Ooh,
you definitely one of them. We appreciate that very
I
much.
like
Yes,
that.
yes.
Thank you. I'm gonna take that. Okay, a little no
Oh
limit
yeah,
on
please
me.
do.
All right,
Yeah.
I
All right.
appreciate.
Thank you.
All right.
All
Let's
right,
see.
thank you.
Peace.
Peace. Hey,
All
hey.
right. That's what's up.
Yeah. Man, we need it. We need it, man. You see everything going on with the Department of Education. You see, we having the conversations about public school. Yeah, man, we need to get creative about how we educate the next generation, man, because yeah, we need it. We
All right.
need
Let's take a quick break. You're listening to First Guy Omaha in the morning.
it. In the morning.
And guess what? Somebody black invented that too. We'll be right
Hey,
back,
hey,
y'all. Stay
hey.
tuned. Don't you go nowhere. Don't you? Matter of fact, make sure you tell a friend this is going down. It's a good show today. Love Supreme
Yeah.
Friday. We'll be right back, y'all.
Loose.
Welcome back. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God.
Hey.
Man, appreciate you, Chad Chimer, showing up this morning and giving some respect and love to the guests. Hopefully, you check her workout.
Yeah.
I definitely get behind people that are for the children, like Wu-Tang
Yeah.
Clan.
Hey. It's definitely doing that, artistically, creatively. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Big time. Pops in the chat says, "I follow you. I found you. I follow you. Is still one of the most addictive tracks I ever heard. I'll be singing this all day now. All right, Pops, appreciate that. It's actually
No,
called I Found You. Maybe it's now. I'm gonna go back and listen to it. Does it sound like I'm saying follow? I like that. I like that too, though. So yeah, let's check it out. Appreciate everybody who joined in, and like I said, definitely check out her work. Go to youngblackvisionaries.com and check out what she got going on. It's always good to support a up and coming artists, but also not just an up and coming artist, but also somebody who's really kind of in that space of using art for the education, using art for the children. You can't beat it. You can't beat it, and really finding purpose in that work. So,
man.
really about it in a big way. Damian Simmons Butler gives us a good morning, everyone.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Just coming on in. It's about 7:52 right now. If you believe in the concept of time you live in Omaha, Nebraska, that is. Hold yourself down. It's still pretty windy out. The weather's supposed to be getting in. I don't even know what the weather's supposed to be. It's supposed to be weird. Just get ready for anything around here.
Man. Yeah. Might snow tomorrow. You never know.
Yeah, but for the most part, it's been pretty nice, and I can definitely see spring has sprung. I can definitely see getting out of that seasonal depression situation. If people are creating, things are happening, birds is chirping. Lots of events and stuff that are coming up. Stuff that we're very, very much looking forward to. That's coming up. A lot of people out here. I'm definitely gonna go see Smokey Robinson. Number one, I've never seen Smokey Robinson live.
Okay.
Getting up there, so I definitely better check him out while I can in a real way. Definitely gonna see Smokey and for as far as other things are concerned, boy, we got some serious concerts coming up. Speaking of Noma Fest is what I'm trying to get to if I can find it. Noma Fest. Noma Fest 5 is going down. Barcades, we got some funk and more funk. Barcades, on and Mohini Day already just right there just got me going. And then there's this, it's definitely this amalgamation of funk and jazz that's happening here. Keon Harold, Richie Love, Frank McComb, and then of course we got the new it's like a neo jazz happening right now with Mono Neon, Mohini Day. I put Terrace Martin in that camp. Kamasi Washington. We got some Thundercat. We got some really good music out there right now, and it doesn't seem like it all the time because radio ain't the same. But there's some really, really good stuff going on out there, old and new, as you can see. So good good art soldiering stuff coming up. As far as I'm concerned, I think it's going to be another one of those summers, especially on the Deuce. That's going to be real fun, real heavy. And shout out to everybody that's putting work in. I talked to Lala a couple weeks ago too. She's talking about doing Joy Fest coming up as well. So there's a lot coming up this summer, of course. And don't forget about Juneteenth. Our Juneteenth celebration is kind of bar none around the country. We kind of have the biggest, largest one as well. There's going to be a lot going on for Juneteenth. So a lot of stuff coming up, and the weather's getting better for it, and I'm here for it all day long, for real. With that, 7:55, what's going on in the chat? I'm seeing Pop says, "Oh my gosh, all this time I thought you were saying I follow you." Yeah, lyrics is weird that way sometimes. He says, and I thought it was another way of saying I dig you so much I follow you. Hey man, if that's your interpretation, let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Okay, cool. We gotta handle a little something real quick. So buddy will be right back. We appreciate everybody that's joining us. Also, Marlon Harrison says Patti LaBelle's coming to Omaha too. What? Patti LaBelle's coming to Omaha. I haven't seen that yet. That's what's up. Pop says, Smokey has been performing live since the late 50s. So catch him while you can. Man, that's really crazy. Big time. Appreciate that. Damian Simmons Butler says, I've been here though, driving into work. Oh, okay. Yeah, I appreciate you listening to us on the go as well. Appreciate that very much. While we're waiting on Buddy to get back here, I just want to talk about a couple more things that's going on here. There is a survey that's out right now that the State of the City survey highly suggests that you put this down. We have an opportunity here where we have a mayor that is pretty approachable, and we can actually listen. He'll actually listen to what we got to say. I've seen it in person where he considers everybody's thought processes with things and tries to incorporate them. He's there for the people. He's more of a people's mayor than I've seen in a long time. Here's a link to this. Actually, no, I gave you the wrong link right here. Here's the link to the mayor survey. This is the We Make Omaha survey. Disregard that last link. This is the link we're looking for right here. And definitely do that for sure. So we appreciate everybody that has done this already, but definitely check out the survey. Fill that out. It doesn't take very long to do. I highly suggest you check out the survey and make sure that we can, give some feedback. We'll be heard. Your voice will be heard if we do that in the real way. Also, I was going to talk about, we haven't really gotten to the fires yet. We got to do a little update on some of the things that's going on with the biggest wildfires in Nebraska history.
Man,
happening.
Hundreds of thousands of acres.
We'll give you a little update on that, but just a latest one that just happened yesterday was Blair. There was a Blair fire, burned about 100 acres. It got contained in about 2 hours, so they knocked that one out pretty fast. But there's a lot going on with these fires, and more to talk about when it comes to that too. So we'll get into that in a minute. But also, I wanted to give a shout out to Mama God, who posted in Friends of First Sky Omaha about Christy Walton, who is of the Walmart empire. One of the daughters in the Walton family. She put up a full New York Times page, full page ad, demanding that ICE release the 73% of detainees who've never been convicted of a crime. So this is not, her point was, this is not an activist. This is not anybody who's lobbying for anything. This is actually one of the billionaires here. She's worth about $23 billion or something like that. That is fed up with seeing things be unjust and decided this is what she was going to do with that. You got that kind of money, you probably can do a little bit more, but this is what she chose to do, put a full page ad out in the New York Times. And it made me think, like, last time I heard about anybody doing that was Donald Trump. Man, he put out a full page ads back in the 80s calling for the execution of this with Central Park 5, that's now called the Exonerated 5. Yeah. And the power of the full page ad in the New York Times, I guess it's still a thing. And it probably costs a pretty penny to do it as well. So just a very interesting point. There was a lot of good conversations that happened in Friends of First Sky Omaha, and it wasn't necessarily just articles that were thrown in to talk about the latest news. It was people that were thinking, shout out to Marlon Harrison, that was like, what do you think about this? Posing questions. It was this week has really been me being happy with how Friends of First Sky Omaha has been going at the group page. It really did feel like a conversation that happens when we're not live. So please continue to put your thoughts there, not just articles, not just things that you think we need to know about, but also interesting things that you see that you'd like to hear what the chat chimers have to say about it. and keep that moving. It was a real good week for that. So appreciate that.
So
Anyway,
it's
we're
all
coming
about.
up on the second hour of the show, so stay tuned for that. In a couple minutes here, we'll be in the second hour where we can get even looser than we've been so far
Man.
in the conversation. But before we get there, buddy, how's everything on your end? You good?
Yeah, man. Holding it down. Something's going around. I'm just kind of a little candid. The babies are home today. There's been some sickness going around the schools. I don't know if y'all had that same issue in Omaha, but
Mm.
yeah. There's a couple of schools that are shut down here in the Atlanta area because some bug going around.
Whole
So
schools?
whole schools, multiple. My children go to two different schools, and
Yeah.
yeah, both of them closed down. So I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah. Other than that, man, feeling good, feeling great. Definitely enjoying today's conversation. Big shout out to Sister Trevesia. We say it right, Trevesia, right?
Yeah.
Marion coming through, speaking to us. Definitely enjoyed that. A big shout out to everybody in the chat. Chat's going off. Definitely enjoying the conversations as you're mentioning happening on Friends of. So yeah, let's keep that going. I haven't really seen anybody post about this, but I definitely want to get into maybe more in the second hour, get into the situation about the UN. Again, something else happened this weekend or this week as far as the UN's recognition of the transatlantic slave trade and really enslavement of Africans the world over as one of the largest, actually the gravest crime against humanity, which again, actually 123 different nations voted in favor of and pushing the conversation forward. So definitely want to kind of touch on that a little bit, especially in the history of or the spirit of our guest today, and talking about a little history, some historic things going on. Feel free to drop your ideas on that. But yeah, we got a lot to get into still in the second hour. A lot of stories. Definitely want to get back on the conversation about development in North Omaha. Also, getting into some of the things happening with the wildfires. There's actually some interesting points being brought out in the news that I want to present to the people. Get your thoughts on that as well. So yeah, here we are in the second hour of First Guy Omaha in the morning. Paul.
In the morning.
Hey, there you go. But yeah. Let's keep the conversation going. What you thinking? How you feeling?
Yeah, feeling pretty good. I appreciate you guys sticking around. Do us a favor again, if you haven't shared the show on your page, do us a favor, share the show, let people know that we're on. And
Yes,
it
yeah.
is a Love Supreme Friday, but we do we still are going to throw in some of the important issues that are going on in the neighborhood. We already started talking about some of those things. We talked about the fair deal situation that's been permeating the conversation, especially on the Deuce. And there's something else going on the Deuce too with this new announcement of this grocery store. Definitely got to get to that. This is something I've been hearing about for a while, and it was told not to really say much until it was something that was actually going to happen. Looks like it's going to happen now, so we'll talk about that. A lot of chatter on Friends of First Guy Omaha about that. Everybody has some opinions on that already, so we'll continue to talk about that here. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, let's jump into we never really did an update on the fire situation yet, so maybe we can talk about that a little bit. Just let people know what's going on. I was interested to understand the containment when I was looking at it this morning. How some are 100% contained now, some are 98%. And as a matter of fact, let me throw this graphic up real quick. This is some of the fires that's been going on around. They've named them: the Morrill Fire, the Edison Bridge Fire. Talking about some of the acreage that has been lost here. Somebody sent me a note a couple of days ago saying nobody's really talking about some of the farmland that got jacked up and some of the animals that got killed, that got burned up in the fire too. Like, this has been a bigger crisis than it just being a big wildfire. It's really pushed in on properties and all kinds of stuff. So this is the as of last night, March 25th, actually. This is the status. It's some of them are 100% contained. The Road 203 fire is 95% contained. Cottonwood is 98%. Morrill Fire is 100% contained. As of this morning, there was a couple more that they talked about: the Ashby Fire, Minor Fire, and some of the acreage that's going there too, and where they're at as far as containment is concerned. And then, of course, we talked a little bit about that Blair Fire that happened yesterday, where I believe it was 100 acres got burned, but it got kind of close. People are a little bit worried about that one because it is a community out there in Blair. It's not just a wildfire that's just in the middle of anywhere. It was kind of out there. So, but it's been contained already. They knocked that one out pretty fast, and they had firefighters come from all different counties to come and knock that one out. So there was a lot going on there, but it had us kind of thinking about the fires. Letty brought up a point this morning. I was like, why haven't I thought of this? I'm from California, where wildfires happen all the time, and what happens right after a wildfire usually? Maybe we can get into
Hmm.
it.
Yeah, what's going to happen with that land? This is definitely something we wanted to dive into a little bit in the spirit of follow the money. Again, this is season 4B, follow the money. We see in green, as you see. And yeah, very interesting as far as just some of the thoughts as, more and more thought is given towards this whole fire situation. The question is posed: what is going to happen with the land after everything is cleared out? Of course, there has been already a huge impact to the agriculture industry. Of course, not only as far as cows, actually just sheer cows burning, just perishing in the situation, also losing land that they graze on. So again, the food supply for cattle being lost. Of course, a lot of property being lost, and it kind of got me into like what is happening with some of the Western Nebraska property and property in general in the state. Um, and data centers is coming up again. The question of is this land possibly being eyed for data centers? We've talked about this. Of course, there's one legislator whose family owns land out in Nebraska, and they're planning on possibly making some money on that land with this mega Google data center that's supposed to have more power than Lincoln. And then also, I came across a story that hasn't really been publicized too much, but there's a company that's actually mining just outside of Lincoln. Um, they signed recently a deal with the EPA and the federal government, Trump's regime, to start mining just outside of Lincoln, around I believe Ashland. I believe actually it's not Ashland. Let me stop freestyling on that one. It's just outside of Lincoln though. But again, they are mining for minerals, and it just kind of curious, like what is going on with some of this land as these fires clear up. Again, these are questions that I'm asking, but as I was asking those questions, I did come across an interesting article from Nebraska Public Media, kind of around some of the controversy in the area and who's been helping. Apparently, some residents have been rumoring on social media about federal takeovers of this fire initiative. Again, Nebraska Public Media reports the Rocky Mountain Complex Incident Management Team was called in to help manage specifically the Cottonwood fire and the larger Morrill fire in West Nebraska. By Thursday morning, both fires showed a significant improvement, as Paul kind of talked about. But again, on social media, rumors have swirled around about a federal takeover, one asking if landowners needed to get permission from the incident management team before taking preventative actions on their own land. Another asks if local fire departments have been told to stand down in certain areas, making way for federal agencies and other teams to step in. However, Governor Pillen did speak out, saying we've asked Rocky Mountain to come in with expertise to help us. They are not telling us what the hell to do. Something's bad, not going to happen, and we're going to blame Dan. It's on us. Or yes, he says something bad's not going to happen, and we're going to blame Dan. It's on us. The sentiment was echoed also by a public information officer with the Rocky Mountain team, who says communities that haven't seen a complex incident team deployed in the area before sometimes are unaware of the structure. But kind of when you look at some of these things, makes you wonder what's being used with the land. Where's the land? How's the land being used after some of this stuff? And again, in the spirit of watching the money, let's kind of keep our eye on that. What's going on with Nebraska land?
Well, I got to tell you, it hit me hard when I realized it because like I said, coming from California where we have wildfires just about every summer. The thing that happens right after wildfire is a land grab. People come in there and try to buy this land for cheap. People come from different states, different places. They try to come in and do that. Just the big one that just happened recently, the Eaton fire, particularly in the Altadena area of California, which was a heavy black community that burned down just last summer. They had there's a whole campaign on how to stop developers from coming in and buying up that land. So it makes me think a little bit about what's going on there when we tie that into data centers that are being built, when we tie that into warehouses being built for ICE and all these other places. They're definitely looking for cheap land, and it makes me wonder, what's going to end up happening with that. We haven't really heard too much about it. But it did make me think about that. We're in the season to follow the money, and I'm thinking, okay, what usually happens after an area gets destroyed? People are buying it for cents on the dollar, and come in and do what they want to do with it. So what is that going to mean for Nebraska and all these places? When I'm looking at this map, I'm looking at one of those places look pretty close to McCook. I wonder if they're going to expand McCook when no, it's not that close to McCook, but it is. Yeah, it's I'm just thinking about like these huge swaths of land that had farms and all kinds of stuff on it. What does that mean for the people that were farming that area, and how's that going to work? So it's just a question I'm putting out there. Marlon Harris in the chat says there are people online saying the media isn't talking about the wildfire, which isn't true. I've seen KTV, WOWT, KMTV, CNN, and PBS talking about the fires. I have too, but I've also heard alternative news groups that were talking about more details than some of those channels were talking about. Some of the things that got destroyed, some of the people that were behind, who got deployed to go get those fires taken care of, and what was going to happen with that land, who owns some of the land. Some of those are things that other alternative news groups are talking about a little deeper than these guys. But you're right, it is out there, but only because it's the biggest wildfire in Nebraska history that I feel like is the only reason why it even got on those channels in the first place. So anyway, it's just a matter of anything huge like this is happening. It's affecting as many people as it is. We got to kind of look and see what it means for that area, what it means for those people, and it's just something to kind of keep your eye on. Is what I'm feeling like.
Actually, the biggest thing for me is like the data centers and what's going to happen in the land on top of it. Was definitely something that piqued my interest, but the biggest thing for me, and I'm still digging into this, but I don't know how many. Anthony Rogers, right? You're kind of big on climate and what's going on with the environment. Has anybody heard about the mining in Nebraska and again the ongoing process of mining? So not necessarily what's going on top of the ground, but underground. Which again, mind you, we should definitely pay attention to what's going on underground, as the Ogallala Aquifer is still one of the largest freshwater aquifers in the nation. So as far as when you get into mining and just kind of following the money, very interesting with this situation. Has anybody heard of Neocorp, which again is a Nebraska organization, Nebraska company that has again signed? And I found the areas. It's Elk Creek. Elk Creek, again in southeast Nebraska, is where they'll be building this $45 million entrance to their underground mines. This is actually Neocorp is a Colorado-based corporation. This is being reported by Nebraska Public Media. Will actually will start significant work on the main mine from which the company hopes to extract niobium, scandium, titanium, and other minerals, many of which have actually been designated by the Trump administration as necessary and valuable minerals for defense and public products.
Well, isn't everything? Can't everybody?
Right. The company again still needs to raise a significant amount of money to make the $1.2 billion mine a reality. But again, the ball is rolling. Back in December, Neocorp said it had raised about $360 million, or a little more than that, a quarter of the total cost. It is still waiting for approval of a $780 million debt financing application from the Export-Import Bank of the United States. But again, this is something that is going on in eastern Nebraska. And as far as land use following the money, I'm just curious. Has anybody heard about what's going on as far as mining? Anthony Rogers, right? Kind of answering the question. He says they are going to start mining in southeast Nebraska. It's a stupid idea, and the people supporting it are going to find out. Okay. Now, what are they going to find out? What are you suggesting? Again, is it a stretch to believe that this could impact the Ogallala Aquifer? Let us know.
Mm-hmm. Eros Pro 2 says, I believe the mining in Nebraska has been in the works for years.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's definitely just something that's just hitting my radar, come to my attention, but I'm sure it's been going on. I haven't followed it, so it's interesting to think about it now, though, according to what's going on here. And more information is coming out about that too. I see more articles, that are digging in, talking about that a little bit. So we'll see. I have to see what Flatwater does anything on that one when it comes to this.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. And again, as far as the Neocorp project in Elk Creek, Nebraska, this is all going on as of this month. This actually a Nebraska media public media article was published earlier this month on March 2nd. So again, I think they just started opening the entrance to the mine in February. But again, this is in connection with the Trump administration, and kind of my thought goes, and we'll maybe get into the budget here in a second. This is a private corporation, a Colorado-based private corporation. Is this something the state could possibly make money from, as far as selling these minerals to the federal government, contracting with the federal government to mine these minerals? Again, I know Republicans are heavy on privatizing just about everything. Actually, speaking of that, I know there were some comments about TSA finally getting paid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a little breaking news this morning. I see Mama God was talking about that too. But yeah, as of this morning, some things have shifted there. We'll get into it in just a second. Before we do that, though, Anthony Rogers right in the chat: air quality issues, land containment, and water contamination. See also DRC in Africa and the lithium triangle in South America. Interesting.
My thoughts exactly. And of course, more defense.
Yeah. Always. Appreciate that. Let's keep an eye on it. If you have any more information, always put that in the group chat, Friends of First Sky Omaha, so we can kind of continue the conversation on that, if you will. And we'll keep on digging and trying to find. Well, we won't be doing the digging. Somebody else going to do some digging, but we'll keep our eye on who's doing the digging around here as much as we can as well. So appreciate that. RG says the aquifers stay in the crosshairs of development. 15 years ago, the oil pipeline coming out of Canada was said to be built through the aquifers. They did that pipeline. They fought that pipeline. The pipeline ended up happening, and guess what? The pipeline ended up breaking, and some oil got into those aquifers as well a few years back. So it's justifiable to be worrying about the Ogallala aquifers in a big way. And shout out to everybody, our native brothers and sisters, and everybody else that is doing their best to try to protect the land, protect the water. The water protectors are in this state way. So,
man,
always something to look at. On to the next subject, just want to make mention we are working on getting the monthly meetup with the mayor happening on Monday. Another M for that alliteration.
Maybe
trying to make it happen. Yeah, maybe. Right. monthly meetup with the mayor Monday. Maybe it's going down. So be looking out for that. Get your questions ready for the mayor as well, and we'll definitely continue to have a hold more conversations with him on that, especially on the subject of the Year of the Neighbor, which is something that we're definitely getting behind and understanding more of as we go. We had Kimber Snipes on the other day. If you missed that interview, then please go back to YouTube and check it out. But she talked a little bit about how One Omaha is going to team up with the mayor for this neighborhood stuff. And if you're an organization that is about that work as well, you might want to see how you can get in there. We have the most accessible mayor that we've had in a long time right now that wants to hear from you and wants to partner with you on some things as well. So, hey, it's a good opportunity to jump in there and see what's happening. So I highly encourage that. Like I said, we're working on trying to get him on Monday so we can have a conversation. So stay tuned for that. And until then, please do us a favor. Go ahead and do that. I put the link to the survey in the chat earlier. Go to First Sky Omaha. Go to the Friends of First Sky Omaha group page if you need more information on that, and then you can hit it from there and do the survey. So appreciate that very much. So with that, we'll jump into it. I'm saying where we got here. Yeah, Anthony Rogers right. Keystone XL pipeline did not happen. We stopped it cold. Was it? Maybe I'm mistaken about if it was Keystone XL. There was another pipeline that came through and did some damage. We'll have to look back into that and see what happened there a couple years ago. Appreciate that, Anthony Rogers right. Moving on, buddy. What we got? What we going to next on this?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to pick up on something that Brother Anthony Rogers right did say, as far as talking about mining and the DRC and Africa and the lithium triangle in South America, and again talk about the situation with slavery and again mining and the connection to slavery, especially in African countries, has been it's something that's still ongoing. But history was made and recognizing this global slave trade as what it is, a crime against humanity. This is being reported by the BBC. But again, this is international news. The United Nations General Assembly has voted to recognize the enslavement of Africans during this transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity, a move advocates hope will pave the way for healing and justice. While this isn't, the end all be all, this move is largely symbolic, but also again a step in the right direction as far as recognizing and possibly clearing the path for a global international reparations situation, as far as not only the transatlantic slave trade, but again the Arab slave trade, what's going on in the Caribbean, what's going on in, still going on in Africa, not just other areas, but in Africa right now, some of the enslavement that's going on. And again, this is historic. Of the nations around the world, a vast majority voted in favor of this situation. 123 nations in total voted, with only 3 voting against, being kind of the nations that, it's not a surprise. Let's just say what it is, man. The United States, Israel, and Argentina, all of which are pretty much Nazi nations. Let's just call them what they are.
Mm.
Voted against this, and of course, all the European nations, the ones responsible for this, abstain from this situation. But again, it is a very interesting resolution that has been put down and again voted in favor of tremendously. Shout out to all 123 nations for recognizing this. But again, this is historic in many, many regards, and kind of opens up the international conversation about what has happened and what is happening with the enslavement and really exploitation of African people and their descendants.
Mm.
Did you hear about this, Paul? Anybody hear about
Heard
this?
it. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
That's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah. Anthony Rogers, right? Kind of in the chat. What were you saying?
Go ahead.
Yeah, Anthony Rogers right in the chat saying it was a non-binding resolution, but we should also recognize the nations who voted no and who abstained. Definitely. He says, exactly, buddy. This is why people need to get up on Walter Rodney. The slave trade was atrocious. What has been happening in Africa since slavery may be even worse. He also says Africa has only represented 3 things to the white colonizers: everything they want, everything they need, and everything they don't want to pay for. Man, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? So,
Wow.
yeah, again, while it is largely symbolic, no heads are rolling, no checks are being cut, no programs are being started just yet. If you look into the resolution, it is laying out that foundation and also kind of giving you the language that has already been set, kind of evoking some of the international laws, international resolutions, the Declaration of Human Rights, all the things that can kind of empower you in fighting colonialism and fascism and all the things we're fighting.
There you go. Appreciate your comments on that. We'll continue to take a look at that. As a matter of fact, let's take a quick break and come back to the conversation. I'm looking at the chat. Just kind of this is that part where I'm learning things. Anthony Rogers Wright's got some facts in here. We're taking a look at stuff and just kind of expanding on this idea where I might have thought of things a certain way, and now I'm getting more information, and now a picture is forming. So
Really?
yeah, I appreciate. Yeah, I kind of appreciate that. I appreciate everybody who's in the chat that's talking about these things and helping us form kind of what we're thinking of things. So we appreciate that. Also, Marlon Harrison says, yes, I heard about this when the news broke. Interesting.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pulling. Everything is it's easy for us as artists to make connections. I tell you what. And a lot of times I'm making connections a little too easy. Sometimes got to pull back and go, is this really connected? I fight it from the other side a little bit. Like, yeah, it's just interesting to understand. Like, we're constantly feeling connections, looking for connections. Naturally, I think a lot of people. I personally think a lot of people don't make connections a lot of times. They're not. There's a lot of cognitive dissonance going on, so they don't always make the connection. And then there's the other side where we're making connections. Everything is connected, and then now we're conspiracy theorists. So, so it's like try to find that balance of figuring out the truth of the matter, which is kind of what we seek to do here on this channel as well. So appreciate everybody who's in that pursuit of that. We'll take a quick break and come back and jump back into the conversation to find more truth, even more truth. And hear what you have to say about it as well. Stay tuned. You're listening to the First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the God.
Hey.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy to God. 8:25 right now. If you believe in the concept of time and you are living in Omaha, Nebraska, because that's what time it is here. We appreciate you guys getting up with us and sticking through the second hour. Yeah, man, it's going down. Just to remind you, the health fair is coming up Saturday, March 28th. This is tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Free screenings. Go get yourself checked out. Big way. This is going to be at Omaha North High. You know where that's at, 4410 North 36th Street. Go check it out. It'll be going on from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Get your blood pressure checked. You can even get your mental health checked, looks like, as well. Some dental, cholesterol, diabetes, vision, and glaucoma. You know, you might need to get some for your glaucoma. STI testing as well, physical activity, plant-based food tasting, which I'm very interested in. I'm loving to see that's connected to a health fair. Not just what the symptoms are from the sicknesses that we are inflicting upon ourselves or have, but also ways to combat that. So shout out to BFHWA, Black Family Health and Wellness Association, for putting this together. Yeah, it's going down. Health Fair, 28th annual happening. Also, what's going on here I believe this is tomorrow as well. Yes, tomorrow from 12 to 3. So this is kind of what I think NAACP put out there that you ought to take a look at. If you want to know what to do tomorrow, get up, go get your screening. And after you get your screening, get yourself together, go on and check out Easter in the Village. It's happening tomorrow. 24th and Ohio Street over to 24th and Burdett is where this is going to be going on. And there's everything happening. Egg hunt, live music. We don't really talk about the holidays as much, but are you ready for Easter? Is this what you're all about here? You're going to take the kids out for the church activities, food, snacks, giveaways, game prizes, all that stuff? Well, if you are, it's happening down here, Easter in the Village. They've been doing it for a while. 24th and Lake. Shout out to Empowerment Network for making this happen. And all the partners that you see there at the bottom of this flyer, which is an extensive amount of people who are behind what's going on here in a big way. So, shout out to them. That's what's going on this weekend. It is Love Supreme Friday, so we do have to talk about some haps. If you have any haps, please put them in the chat and also put them in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We'd love to hear about what it is that you got going on this weekend, what you're going to do and get into as well. So right on. With that, we'll go ahead and pick up the conversation here for the last half hour of the show. Buddy, where are we at?
Man, a little bit everywhere. I guess I'll pick up with the budget. It is kind of interesting what's going on. And I guess share some of my thoughts on the situation as far as education, being in the middle of this. And we're kind of talking about the UN thing and recognizing a certain version or a certain, perspective of history and, education and funding private education is at the center of what's going on with the state's debate. I just find it all very interesting. Maybe it's connected. Maybe not, but definitely want to talk about, again, what's happening now that the legislature is on their third iteration of a budget bill and what's taking so long, what's holding things up as far as, again, the Nebraska State Legislature figuring out a budget is this whole private K through 12 funding situation. Of course, the school voucher, LB 1071 was the second budget bill, I believe. And that was held up because lawmakers hit an impasse on whether to remove or include a new proposed $3.5 million school voucher program, largely to use state funding to offset some costs to attendance at private K-12 schools for students who already started under school choice law that, again, voters repealed in 2024. It's a lot in that to read between the lines. But again, $3.5 million for school vouchers, which will largely use state funding to offset private schools, has been at the crux of this budget debate. And of course, the program was requested by Governor Pillen, who originally set funding at $7 million in his early session budget proposal. But again, even half of that is still being debated. Just before, of course, the first stall, there was another move on his own provision, believing that there was not enough support for, again, private school or school choice vouchers. Some supporters of the school choice proposal said they wouldn't support the budget if the program was removed, leading to the cloture motion failing. So again, this is kind of the big point at the crux of this as far as school choice. And just me reading between the lines, again, this is Buddy the God, speaking. But as I mentioned, it is just very interesting, this whole education, situation. And we have this push of, critical race theory and all the things going on education wise. Of course, we've seen what the Trump administration is doing to the federal Department of Education. And of course, we call Pillin Trump Jr. for a reason. So when we see some of the same political agendas from the grand old party, it is very interesting to see what's happening on the state side with education and private education. And, remembering that they never wanted to educate their children next to ours. Let's keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind. So, again, still have not decided on a budget bill in the state that is going broke. And again, that still is in the mix as far as this last round of debates. Now, the third bill again has been pushed forward. One more round, and this current bill does go through. I believe LB 1071 is the bill. But again, we will see, and maybe get to speak to the senators in the meantime.
Mm-hmm. Michael Lee is in the chat. Good morning. Says right now the school vouchers and child care are out of the budget. So yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. I appreciate you making sure that we understand all of that. I think it's really interesting. I think it's interesting that it's out of the budget. The things that stand out to me is this is, the people voted on this. They didn't want it. Somehow it got back in because Pillin wanted it. And it continued to be fought. When we first were reporting on this, it wasn't clear to me whether or not they were talking about taking public funds and put them in for private schools. As a matter of fact, a lot of people were saying that's not what they were doing, and it's the reason why they decided that some people were for it or proponents of it. But then there's other people reading between the lines the whole time, like, no, this is what they're talking about, taking from public funds, which places like OPS really need those public funds. Other schools need those public funds to try to do better with the public school system. And we don't need to take money away from that system in order to provide it for private schools where people felt like only certain kids were going to be able to go to. So it's interesting that this fight still continues because how bad they wanted it. Even Ricketts wanted it real bad before Pillin came in. They were really trying to take over the school system so they can do what they wanted to do there.
I mean, if you remember, Ricketts' mom, if I'm not mistaken, paid about $350,000 of their own money to pay the petitioners for that whole situation. So, yeah, they've been invested in this. Why? I'm not 100% sure, but there is a clear push to get this through, despite the fact that the people, in general, seemingly don't want it. Right. So.
Well, the fact that we have to tie in that the Charlie Kirk's old business is going to be permeating throughout the state.
Forgot about that.
Pillin wants,
per Pillin's request. Don't forget that.
And it's happening. What's the name of the organization? I can't remember What's the Report for America, but I know that ain't it.
No, that's not it. Y'all know what we're talking about. I'm drawing a blank. Come on, Drewski, help me. Man,
we're talking about Turning Point USA.
Yeah. There you go.
Turning Point USA has already been in Nebraska, and Pillin is calling for it to be in every school system in Nebraska as well. So you say I don't know why they want to do this, but it's kind of obvious. Thank you, Anthony Rogers. Right, Turning Point USA. Yeah. It's
So, y'all see that Drewski skit, by the way?
Speaking of Turning Point USA, they're trying to sue him for that skit. And that was the tie-in that I was making earlier. First, let me get this point out. Popular says they never wanted for us to be educated at all, let alone be alongside their kids. I remember when it was illegal to teach a Negro to read, for real.
Man, I'm saying. Yeah. Actually, there's some literacy bills we can get into here in a second.
There you go. Also, Michael Lee is saying, talking about Pillin, he says his family owns and or is invested in a couple private schools.
Come on, man.
If you want some private school action, Turning Point USA, if you know what that is, that they're his request trying to put that in all the school systems in Nebraska. That's supposed to be coming. And of course, he talks a lot about good and evil and God and the devil and all these things that he's always talking about. The Christian nationalism situation is something that we have not really even jumped into discussing as deeply as we probably should be because of what's behind a lot of this. So
Well,
go ahead.
It's just the connections you were getting to earlier, as far as the artist's mind making the connections, and you want to get down to the truth, but if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, like we're talking about public education. I just want to throw in the fact that Robert Maxwell, who was Ghislaine Maxwell's father, was behind McGraw Hill, which was the major book publisher of all the education books in public school. So again, when we're talking about education, who's educating us, what are they teaching us, and why would they want to take their kids out of that system?
That's the real question because they've already done a lot of damage to the system in the first place. They've already taken a lot of stuff. One of the first stories that we ever jumped on when we started this whole thing was about the textbooks and how were taking history and stuff out of the
Oh,
textbook.
yeah.
So it's something that they're already doing in order to create a slant in education in the public sector. They want to go even further than that. I mean, that's what Turning Point USA and stuff is all about. That's what having private schools is all about. Bringing it back to that point where they want to teach their kids one thing and the masses another, and that's just what it is. Or they don't really care about what anybody else is getting taught, and they definitely want to try to sway. But they're not just going to leave it at that. They also want to indoctrinate and sway what the masses are being taught in the first place too. On top of that, so
I
there you
mean,
go.
look at what they just did. Again, making the connections, but you gotta acknowledge it. Like, look at what the U.S. just did on the international level. If on an international level, if we have 123 countries acknowledging that slavery on a global scale was one of the worst things that ever happened to humanity, and the United States is like, nah, that's nah.
We kind of
How
go.
would how are we ever expecting to get a real education in our education system in this country if even on a fundamental level we can't even acknowledge that?
Big time. And we didn't say that when we talked about that ruling. We kind of buried the lead on that. We didn't really say that when this happened at the UN. There was only a couple of countries that didn't that said they disagreed. To Marlon Harris's point, I was looking trying to find that
Hmm.
and Marlon Harrison actually spoke on this in the chat. I was trying to
Hmm.
look. I was trying to look at
Yeah.
that.
The
Yeah,
Nazi countries.
people are only talking about the U.S., Israel, and Argentina, but the European countries who are acting like Ray Charles and don't see anything wrong.
Yeah,
So
they all the
so
same.
again, this ruling happened. All these countries got behind it to say that slavery was the worst atrocity that ever happened to humankind. Many countries got behind that statement. Shout out to Ghana for initiating this in the first place. And then there was some people that spoke out against it. It happened to be U.S., Israel, and Argentina. All three said, "Nah, we don't agree that that's the worst atrocity ever happened. No, we don't agree with this." And that's huge. Living in the U.S. and all the stuff that's going on with Israel and everywhere else. So it's huge that was the case. But there's also a lot of companies that just abstain from saying
Hmm.
anything at all. That Marlon Harris is talking about. European companies is like, yeah, we're not commenting on this, or we're not going to vote one way or another on that, or we're not. You know what I'm saying? We have no.
Hmm.
So it's really interesting that's the case. That's the case too. So yeah, this huge thing happened where Ghana came up, said this was happening. They were acknowledging this. UN acknowledged it, and then the real story is who fought against that idea and who said nothing about that idea as well. So that's what's up. It's crazy to me to understand that. So you know, it's when you think about where United States stands on that, and other European countries that are supposed to be allies as well are standing on it. You're right. Like, how do you expect that a country that's built on that is gonna? We're down here down the line, and here we are trying to figure out how it is that we can still get educated. We can sit in the classrooms now, which is different from back in the day. But even in the classrooms, what kind of education are we getting in a big way? Marlon Harrison says, if you had good teachers, they never taught out of textbooks.
Man,
Ooh,
that tells you something. That tells you something.
that's powerful, Marlon.
That tells you something.
That's powerful. Anthony Rogers Wright says it's more significant than Israel voted against the resolution right before Passover when the Jews celebrate, wait for it, emancipation from slavery.
I'm saying the hypocrisy.
RG in the chat says some fool on FB came with the argument yesterday. Ghana still practices slavery. Say what? A lot of people got a lot of things to say. And you know, we can go all day long about how this country will reacting to this news. I mean, the country as a whole has decided that they're against what Ghana's saying. So, you know, is what it is on that. But very interesting stuff. And also, you know, we kind of strayed a little bit, but getting back to the budget aspect of all this, you know, there's millions trying to go to. There's still the Republican Party really trying to direct millions to private situations, a separation of their kids, our kids, private school, public school argument still happening.
Yeah.
Still a deficit with OPS. You know, we've been talking about that since Bree Fool came on the show and told us about it and talked about it, I should say. And there's the mishap that came with the budget that made OPS hurt for some money now, and then of course the state is, and then we have to also throw in the idea of how our property taxes are what funds the school districts in the first place, and how there's always a big fight with Pillen trying to lower property taxes. As a matter of fact, I read something real interesting about the dichotomy of people that are living in Western Nebraska and all these other places where they obviously moved over. They wanted to move over to other places where the schools were better, quote unquote. Their schools are better though, because their schools get more money than other schools. And the money comes from their property taxes. So how do you at the same time argue for lower property taxes, but still want the benefit of the better schools? They're kind of in a little conundrum when you think about it, which is, I think it's kind of interesting. I'll come back to that when you get done reading. You good?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm drawing connections because to your point, I'm in a second when we get to this literacy bill, because Pillen is pushing a literacy bill too, which again I'm wondering why, but I'm sorry.
Very true. Well, yeah, it's just my point that I really want to expound on. The reason why I'm going to go back to it, expound on, is because of this dichotomy that people are having about the Pillen has been also claiming that he's going to lower property taxes, and the property taxes part of the money situation is there. School districts get money because of property taxes. So if you're a white family, for instance, that moved to the Western Nebraska in order for you to get to the better schools, your schools are better because the schools get more money. So you're in this dichotomy now of being the kind of being people that are like, you need to lower my property taxes, but at the same time keep the benefit of the high level schools. They're in a little bit of conundrum there. They got a little bit of an issue there. So I want to know what that's about. I want to know, like, how is that supposed to work in that way as well? Just something to kind of consider and expound on, I think.
Well, I think that might be it as far as the private school push. You know, Pillen wants to build a private school so the family gets in line for the welfare, which is interesting. Shout out to Ariel's 402 in the chat saying that. But yes, again, kind of sorry for looking into it, but I was trying to make sure my thoughts were in line as far as what you're saying in the connection to which has been now deemed Governor Pillen's priority bill. Like, again, why is this his priority? Why the investment? What is the why? Why is this going on? As far as, again, the push for education, talking about LB 1050, shout out to Nebraska Examiner for reporting on this. Which again is Governor Pillen's priority bill, led by State Senator Dave Merman of Glenville, which actually advanced on a 26-10 vote. The bill again deals with, which is interesting, the grade level, deals with reading. It deals with support for students reading below grade level by the end of the third grade, which again is jumping out to me because if you remember our conversation with Dr. Umar Johnson, Ifatunde, who said, reminded us working in Philadelphia with in-school counselors, working with specifically, literacy, working with those students dealing with those issues and drawing a connection between low reading levels in the third grade, specifically in the preschool to prison pipeline. So it is very interesting when you have a bill that deals with students reading below grade level at that specific mark. Again, LB 1050, which is tied, which is also very interesting. Again, the connections, I'm not making this up as far as these connections. We call Nebraska what? the Mississippi of the Midwest. What is this bill called? The Mississippi Miracle.
Wow.
The bill is mirroring something called the Mississippi Miracle, which is intended to boost academic performance and require students to be held back in the third grade if they were reading below grade level based on a new uniform statewide assessment. Under the amended bill, parents of a struggling reader would receive notice that their child is struggling, and if their child is in the third grade, would be invited to meet with school officials. Parents would have the final say on whether a child should repeat the grade based on the statewide assessment. By then, school districts would require intensive acceleration classes for students who repeat grade 3. According to Merman, who again is the legislature behind the bill, rather than sending along students who aren't prepared, we're going to make sure kids get the support they need with the support of their parents or guardians. And again, all of this sounds good on the surface, but you got to ask, why? Why is this a priority? Why? What is really going on? So,
well, I'm gonna peel back a little bit on I'm gonna not peel back, but I'm gonna interject this real quick.
okay.
RG said plain in our faces. Let's take it from this vantage point. Let's start with the why that we all can agree on, both sides, which is that there's a problem with education. Both sides feel like there's a problem with education. We know that we can anecdotally talk about our kids that are having issues in public school and otherwise. We have also all been talking about putting private schools together in order to battle that. I can understand why Republicans are probably thinking the same thing. There's everything that they trying to instill in their kids. They don't like trans people. They don't like all the stuff that goes on in this public school. We need to have our own schools to teach our own, to indoctrinate our own kids. Everybody's saying that because everybody believes that the school's not doing what school needs to do, and we're differing greatly on the solutions for what to do about that, and we ultimately all do go to separation at some point. We do go like we got to pull back, we got to get our own, we got to do our own. If Qasim Shabazz was governor of Nebraska. Was the governor.
What a thought.
He might be trying to divert some money to some private schools to make sure that black folks get the education that he thinks black folks ought to get. So again, it's a flawed system on all kinds of different levels. And then there's also us saying we have different viewpoints on how to solve a problem that we might both agree on what that is. And then you got to tap in there. There's also the history of racism and white supremacy that is permeating the whole thing as well. So even if we wanted to, even if they want to have a conversation where we leave that part out, which is impossible to do, we still can talk about the fact that we have differing opinions on what the problem is in the first place and what the solution is to do about it at all. Anyway, we can battle white supremacy. We can battle all these things. We battle them on all kinds of different levels. But at the same time, while we're battling, we also have to have some answers on what it is that we can do in order to overcome what the situation is right now. We always come down to that. How do we push for absolute revolutionary change? At the same time, work within the situation that we're in. At the same time, there's people that are of two camps, people that are trying to work with the situation we're in right now, and then the people that are trying to push to change the situation. And I think that there may be some of us that are out here trying to figure out how to do both at the same time. Right. I don't know how effective that is. Because I just don't know how effective that can be. But it's interesting to me, the thoughts of why we keep coming back to this situation. Why they keep talking about public schools? Why they keep talking about private schools? I mean, what everybody's understanding that the education system is failing some kind of way. Even this administration is shaking up the system too. And of course they have their reasons behind it. Why that is, what can we say? It is really kind of interesting to think about it in that way, that we can start with the first part, which is that the schools are failing.
Yeah. Everybody. I mean, that's agreed upon across the board. A couple of chats, and then I do want to jump into this article a little more. Tony Johnson is saying, just give us some numbers. He says 41% of OPS students in third grade tested below proficiency in reading. So again, giving you a glimpse of what the reading numbers are looking like in OPS. Also, Mama God in the chat saying currently parents' choice. It's currently parents' choice to advance students or not. So again, up to the parents whether they want to do that or not, which is also language in this bill. She says, my friend told me majority parents decide to advance students because they commonly feel school let their children down, and the student should not be punished for that. Also, Marlon or Tony Johnson responding to Marlon Harrison, asking how do we bring energy and attention to them that Turning Point USA has. First hearing about Black leadership clubs and OPS. That's definitely interesting. We'll definitely love to hear more about that. Marlon Harrison, these Black leadership clubs and OPS. But I'm kind of thinking of, political agendas. Let's just call it what it is. And, thinking about how some of the conversation, some of the Project 2025 influence that's happening around TSA. And again, the move to privatize that government institution. And again, if you don't know what we're talking about, look into it. Actually, several senators in recent hearings about what's going on with TSA have brought out the situation and the connection between the Project 2025 plan put out by Heritage Foundation, which I believe in the 5th chapter of that plan talks about privatizing TSA. And now, of course, the news has broke that Trump is deemed to pay TSA for now. But we should still keep our eye on that and just reel all the moves. Why privatizing these moves? And it's not only the move to privatize them, but what has been done to undermine some of these things. Of course, we've talked about, Doge completely dismantling the Federal Department of Education. Are we not seeing the connection between the play? Like, it's happening on the federal and state level as far as public school being undermined. Right. And yes, Paul, I do, see your point as far as the agreement that on both sides, the schools, agreeing that schools aren't working. But it's one thing for us in the community that has no control over the school system to say the school isn't working for us. And it's another thing for Pillin, whose administration just fumbled $53 million in our administration, saying the school system doesn't work.
Very true.
The school system isn't working because decisions you're making. You have the power to influence or improve public schools. You can't say it's not working. What are you doing to improve it? Or are you just undermining it so you can make this play?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Oh, shut up.
You got to do it. Buddy Blast in progress. It's happening now.
Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know.
No, drop the mic on that. Well said. I mean, that's the deal. The reason why I went down that rabbit hole is to kind of get to that point, because it's like, okay, we agree school systems don't work. Okay, let's try to figure out what we're going to do about it. Oh, we disagree on that too. Well, why? Oh, okay. So what's your solution? Oh, that kind of leaves us out. So what does that look like for us? Oh, okay. You don't care? Oh, okay. Well, I guess you just want to undermine the whole situation. I mean, it's like going down the rabbit hole to these logical conclusions about how it is that we can rightfully say that that there's a dismantling that's going on because of not, and a lack of support. That's just what it is. Any move that you're making towards redoing a whole system, I mean, it's what it is. I mean, like I said, on our level, same situation. There's a lot of stuff that we do as a community, as a people, that we have to step up and do all the time for our kids that are not getting the education they need in school. We do it all the time. Parents stay home and help with their kids' work and teach them other things. Parents pull kids out and put them in homeschool. We are up fighting, arguing with the administrators. There's a lot of stuff that we're doing while the kids are in the situation that we're doing. We have to do something. Sometimes we pull kids out and put them in private schools. In other, not so much in this state, but in other states that happens as well. We had senators that were on that was talking about pushing for the ability to have some private schools for our kids. What is we going to do? We celebrate the fact that there's the Mandela School that's out there that is doing some of that kind of work. We talk about, we have something, I forgot how many, it was something like 700 and 50 nonprofit organizations, some of which are organizations that are there to help educate kids and move the needle when it comes to that. There's all kinds of things that we do to circumvent that. We do that without power, like to your point. That's what we do without the power of being the governor or being anybody that's an official that's controlling purse strings as well. So a lot of what it is that we would jump to do is a lot of what they're doing on their side. It's just what I mean. It's just what it is. Except they're doing it with the power and the money and the agenda, and it leaves people out. And it leaves people out where not they deserve what they feel like they deserve. Our kids deserve to have this good education. And we don't know if your kids deserve to have it. There's nothing but a bunch of criminals over there in them school districts and blah blah blah. And this is that kind of narrative that emerges from their actions and what it is that they're doing and how they're doing it. And we as the people are doing what we always do, working within that mess and trying to figure it out. A lot of kids fall through the cracks, but there's a lot of diligent working going on around too in our communities to try to help kids get some actual education out of the school system that they're in. Marlon says some of these parents ain't qualified to teach their own kids. Very true.
Yeah,
very true. We need to be dependent on the school system to do some of that kind of stuff as well. Very true. But I know personal anecdotes of parents that have educated themselves, that learn things in order to be able to help their kids as well. They go get in it together. So, that's the thing that we don't really talk about all the time because we talk about the issues and the problems, but there are a lot of things that a lot of people are doing to try to circumvent those problems in the first place. And then of course we got these other soldiers out here that are trying to fight where that money goes, what the administration is doing with that. Just like what happened with this bill, the $3.5 million that's not coming from public sector to go to private schools right now. There's something in there. Anthony Rogers Reddish said he's saying ban private schools like Finland, which is one of the only countries with 100% literacy rate. I don't know if that's the answer for here. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Here. My children go to a charter school, a state subsidized charter school, and they get a different education than what they were getting in public school. It's definitely a lot more cultural sensitive. It's different. It's different.
Yeah. And I feel like when we're coming to our solutions, private schools is a solution we come to all the time as well. Because if we're dealing with it and we're fighting to make public schools be what they need to be, that's a long fight. Them kids is already in the school system and growing up in the school system, and they'll be grown by the time we are able to change something in the school system a lot of times. So we always are thinking about what can we do right now. A lot of homeschooling in Nebraska, a lot of homeschooling in Omaha, a lot of homeschooling in our community, more than you think. My sister was in it, and we got to really take a look and see like how many people are taking advantage of the homeschooling system because of what's going on. So when we think of it, so if there was a private school out here that we can send black kids to, for instance, there's a whole lot of people that would sign up for that if they could afford it. There's a whole lot of people that would do that. So we can't say ban all private schools because that cuts off a solution for us. That cuts off one of the solutions that I see other communities working towards. It might not work for here. May be wrong, but I don't think it would work for here. Also, he says, the only nation in the Caribbean with close to 100% literacy rate. Yep, Cuba, which also bans private schools.
Yeah,
I mean, you make an argument for.
Is Cuba a socialist nation though?
Cuba's very true.
It's a completely different political system.
Boy, I'm happy that Senator Terrell McKinney just came in with 1 minute to spare on this subject. Thank you, bro. We was underwater. He said. The problem is neither side cares about our kids and actually want to fix the school system while the kids and families are being failed and blamed.
Yep. Yeah. In the article, actually, Senator McKinney is quoted calling this a Band-Aid. The solution, he says, is a Band-Aid.
Very true. Anthony Rogers says ban them and de-link public education from capitalism. Yeah, I mean that's the conversation in general though. Like how do we, capitalism, how do we get all of this out of the grips of capitalism? Like that's and how many kids are going to grow up and get messed up from the system that exists right now while we work on that? Is my question. Before we get out of here, it is coming to the end of the show. I just wanted to reiterate this idea about this third grade situation. There was some information out there if I remember correctly, there was a study that was talking about double jeopardy. It had to do with third grade reading levels, and it was coupled with a couple other things like poverty. If you were not reading well in third grade and you were in a situation of poverty, and some other things, you were more likely to go to jail. You were this preschool
Hmm.
to prison pipeline happened there. And for some reason, they really focused on third grade, which is why a lot of people are talking about this. I'm looking on Google right now, and it's when third graders can't read. Double Jeopardy: How Third Grade Reading Skills and Poverty Influence High School Graduations, published by the Annie E. Casey Foundation, 2011. There's been a lot of studies and a lot of things out here that's talking about it, and for some reason that's the age that they're talking about. They've done all these studies for this particular grade, which I think is really interesting. So if you're not reading well in that grade, this is what can happen. So if anybody has any more information on that, please let us know. Put that in Friends of First Sky Omaha. Also, shout out to Mir Sanchez. We have a program that we're going to put together with him. He went and connected with the Afro American bookstore and bought a bunch of books that are third grade reading level, so that we can kind of address that problem like on that level. Really kind
Man,
of get some stuff in kids' hands. And also, I'm thinking about our guest that we had today, man. Shout out to our guest that we had today. She was really about making it so that the kids can really understand what's going on with the history, like the on the level that they can sing, making a song, making something they can sing, making something they can remember, in that way, and making it in the style that they're listening to right now. On top of that, so yeah, man, shout out to Trevesia Marion, who is on this level as well, on this tip as well. I'm just thinking about that too, man. Catch him at third grade sounds like. Catch him at third grade. What is that? What is our third grade looking like right now?
start young. Start young.
You got, buddy. Your kids. What grades are your kids in right now?
Around that, my oldest is in the fourth grade, my middle is in the first, and my youngest is in pre-K.
So right
So
around.
they,
So
they, yeah, yeah,
interesting
they,
that it's
they,
happening right now in real time. You know.
yeah, man. And you definitely heavy on the literacy. Actually, they were just asking me to take them to the book fair at their school before everybody got sick yesterday, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, we take them to the library. We have library cards. They're the library kids. They have stacks of books. Make sure they do 20 minutes of reading a day. Yeah, yeah. Like especially literacy is definitely heavily promoted in our household. But it does take work. To Marlon's point. Not all some parents got to work 12 hours a day and
Right.
have a nighttime job on top of that. Like some parents don't have that luxury of time or even a co-parenting situation. So it's a lot harder on them.
Hmm.
But to Marlon's point, also in the chat, he says, please remember that every kid is different.
Hmm.
While some kids like private school, free spirits like me and many others don't like everyone being the same. So
Hmm.
again, it's all about investing in it. It does take that investing in your child's education, and if you're a young person listening to this, investing in your own education. What learning about yourself, what interests you. How do you learn? Are you a book reader? Do you like music? Do you like videos? Do you like pictures? It's out there. You just gotta look for it.
And even if you like one thing over another, still engage in all the things.
Hey, hey, hey.
Engage in all the things. You may be a visual learner. You may like video more than reading books, but read books and watch videos. Do it all. Most definitely. And buddy, I think we just figured out why all the schools around your area are sick. If there's a book fair coming up, the government done made, we gonna make sure these kids stay home and not go to the book fair.
I mean, they burning them. You never know. They trying to get rid of the books.
I appreciate everybody's comments today. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. It is 9:04, 4 minutes past our agreed upon time to leave the show. And another fresh edition happening just now. If you missed any parts of this show, please go back, check it out on YouTube. Especially give us a like and subscribe over there if you would, buddy. You got any words for the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, yeah, man. Thank y'all for allowing us to be a little loose on today. But appreciate it. Hopefully, we got you some food for thought. Tipped you off to some important news going on in your area. And yeah, we'll definitely continue conversations. We didn't really get into the grocery store situation happening around 25th and Lake. So we'll maybe pick that up next week. But we will again continue to talk about all the things as this is a continued conversation here on First Sky Omaha in the morning, Paul.
In the morning.
Well, again, we appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you for joining the conversation with us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning, man. So again, catch the same time, same place. Do it again next week. In the meantime, between time, look out for our weekly wrap coming to your email later on today. And then also catch the same time, same place on Monday, man. So in the meantime, between time, take care of yourselves this weekend. Paul B, take it away, man.
Man, if you have not signed up for the weekly wrap, I highly encourage you to do that. I'll put the link in the chat right now for you to hit that and sign up. It drops on it drops at 4:00 in Central Standard Time in Omaha, Nebraska here at 4:00 on Fridays. So today is the day we're going to get that going. And don't forget that we're going to have some surveys on there too. So please open up your newsletter and hit some of those surveys. We need to get some answers on a couple questions that we are putting out there to you, the chat chimers especially, and everybody who signed up for that as well. Do us a favor, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Newsletter is happening, and also tell a friend to come back and check out the shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's going down. We're going to be hopefully speaking with the mayor. Our monthly meetup with the mayor had to get pushed back on from last week, so hopefully we'll get to talk to him on Monday. We're still trying to confirm that. But shout out to him for that. Also, just want to give another special thanks to Trevesia Marion, who is behind Young Black Visionaries. Definitely check out her stuff. You can check that out anywhere that you check out things. She's putting this under the banner of Young Black Visionaries, so you can look that up and check it out. We'll put that in Friends of First Sky Omaha as well with some links, so you can check those things out too. And I appreciate that. Shout out to Empowerment Network one more time. Just want to give a shout out to some of the people that we work with. Empowerment Network doing Easter in the Village, happening tomorrow at 12 p.m. It's going to be between 24th and Ohio and 24th and Burdett. And so definitely check that out. And don't forget to get your screening before you do that. Get up early, go get your screening. Anything that you think you might have a problem with, you can go there and get a screening for a few different things. As you can see, this will be at North High, and it'll be from 8 to 1. So just kind of float in when you can and see if you can get down on getting a free screening. There's not many free screenings that happen out here. You might as well get it because it's free. So check it out. With that, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Pop says, thanks for an awesome show. Enjoyable always. We love and appreciate you both for what you are doing and the dedication you show. We adore you. Have a great weekend and see you Monday. Appreciate you, Pops.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. RG says, shout out to Miss Marion. He says, that's some great work she's doing for real, for real.
Check it out.
You just said it better, bro. Appreciate you. We'll get out of here. Shout out to the Omaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. And shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you. Appreciate the conversation, all the great information that you provided today, and the respect for the guests as well. Really appreciate that. Ooh, man.
Yeah, hit me. Hit me.
Nap time.
Hit me.
There it is. It's going down. We'll see you Monday. You guys take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green.